Let's imagine biting into a juicy, ripe red strawberry, only to discover that it's actually covered in mold. That's pretty disgusting, right? So that fuzzy white stuff that you're seeing growing on the strawberry, whoops, that's a fungus. So what if I told you that fungi could potentially save your life and also your strawberry? So hi, I'm Dr. Paul Rowley, and today we're going to explore how fungi, these tiny, sometimes invisible organisms, are both our worst enemies, but with cutting-edge science, will hopefully be one of our greatest allies. So fungi are actually everywhere. They are on your skin, they're inside the bread that you eat, they're also in the air that you're breathing right now. But for most of these fungi, they're completely harmless to you, do you no harm at all. And in fact, many of them are actually useful, as we've mentioned. They help us with baking bread, brewing beer. They're even involved in making chocolate and coffee. But there is a dark side to fungi in the fact that they can spoil our food, okay? And they can be the cause of some life-threatening fungal diseases. And the problem is, these fungi, they're really good at what they do. And humans have only limited strategies to prevent these kinds of diseases and spoilage events. So how do we fight back against something that's so small and yet so powerful? Well, my lab at the University of Idaho, we're actually on the front lines of this battle. And we are discovering and engineering unique antifungal molecules that can stop these troublesome and sometimes deadly fungi in their tracks, okay? So think of it like this. We have many, many types of fungi, and some of them are a threat to our food and our health, and you see them growing here on this plate. Now, my lab, the antifungal molecules we produce, think of them as like biological missiles. They are accurate, and they seek and destroy these disease-causing fungi. And you can see that again also in this picture. Now, the fascinating thing is that these molecules, these missiles, are produced by fungi. The fungi that actually make our beer and our bread. And some of you may know them by another name, yeast. So while yeast can actually be used, while these toxins can be used in many different ways to prevent spoilage, to prevent agricultural disease, and prevent human disease, my favorite, absolute favorite application is in brewing, where we can essentially prevent spoilage in beer that causes off flavors and, wait for it, exploding bottles. Now, exploding bottles are not necessarily life-threatening, okay? But they do cause brewers millions and millions of dollars of losses every single year, okay? As well as product recalls and lawsuits. So my laboratory is collaborating with a brewery in Cincinnati, and we've been adding our antifungal molecules to their beer. And guess what? No spoilage and no exploding bottles. So in short, a game changer for the brewing industry, okay? Now, if that was, no, so the most exciting part here, as if saving the world from exploding bottles wasn't enough, is that the fungi that produce these antifungal molecules, they are diverse. They are found all over the planet, okay? Which means this is a vast, untapped reservoir of potential new molecules that we can use to fight fungi that not only threaten our food security, but also shorten our lives. And I believe that every day we are one step closer to a point where fungi are no longer the villains of our story, but they actually can become our heroes. So, the next time a beer explodes in your face, or maybe you take a bite of a rotten strawberry, don't think of these things as being a nuisance. Instead, think of the researchers here at the University of Idaho who are actually working to turn these problems into a solution. If we can actually tackle something as persistent as fungi, then imagine what other problems that we can overcome. Thank you very much, and go Vandals.